Welcome to our podcast called The 3-Minute Reel, brought to you by AIM Higher in Education Incorporated. This particular series is called Real Talk on Education. I'm your host, Raketa Thomas.
I am Laurie Hartley, and I have a background in elementary education, ages kindergarten through 5th grade. Have been the focus of my 29-year teaching career. During the COVID closure, I was working with a 1st grade classroom.
My name is Mike McDowell, and I teach 6th grade math and science in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Excellent. So I have 3 questions for you today. And the first one, we'll start with Mike, is what did school look like for you and your kids or your students in the spring?
So being a tested subject, I would say at the beginning of it, it was pretty stressful because we had third quarter, we had a packed pacing guide, and you have the end of grade test kind of hanging over your head. And I knew after 2 or 3 days that keeping my traditional pace was too much for the kids. Right. So even before they canceled end of grade testing, I went ahead and made the decision that I was going to give them 2 days per lesson and just bite the bullet. Allowing kids to jump on the computer at any time. Gotcha. I see a lot of value in that because not everybody's schedule is the same, but I do feel like kids benefit from structure, and in a traditional setting, they tend to flourish a little bit better than if you just say, hey, just get on whenever you want. I just feel like stuff didn't get done when they didn't have structure.
What challenges did you face teaching remotely?
So obviously with working with 6-year-olds, I was working very closely with parents. The biggest challenge is something that I think a lot of folks struggled with is we went from very much a non-technical format in school to complete tech format. And so the groundwork for signing in, for engaging, for turning in work online, all of that had not really been established before we went home. I became more of an instructional coach for the parents and an encourager for the parents that what they were doing was not breaking or ruining but their children, because there was a lot of worry about that. The other thing I found is that my job became a 12 to 15 hour job with gaps, because you had the parents who got up in the morning, like Mike said, that provided that structure for them and got the school done. And then you had the parents who had to wait till they got off of their shift work and couldn't do work until 9 or 10 o'clock at night, but then still needed the connection from me to help get their children on. So I'd say the biggest thing was I found myself working more with parents than actually with the kids. I even had a situation where a student in the height of COVID, when, it was very, very scary for all of us, just had no choice but flew their 7-year-old by himself across the country to stay with family because she just was at a loss here because she is here by herself with him. And I can't imagine, but, that's what she was willing to do so that he could be somewhere that he could be more engaged in. I saw parents going to great lengths to try to do their best.
A lot of sacrifice.
Yes.
Thank you for listening to our podcast, The 3-Minute Reel. We hope you enjoyed it and that you'll come back and hear the next one. This podcast has been brought to you by AIM Higher in Education Incorporated, where we focus on education for success.